And now the directors of Digital Futures, Karl Johansson and Marina Petrova, who are joining me to talk more specifically about the research that's taking place here and what digital transformation actually is in this context. Welcome, Karl and Marina.
Thank you, Paulina.
Thank you.
So, digital transformation for me is a word that's widely used. It means different things to different people. It's very vague in a sense. Some even call it a buzzword. So, Karl, can you sort of clarify what it means in the context of digital futures?
Thank you, Paulina. Yes, absolutely. So digital future is really about transforming the society by developing new digital technologies, targeting now these big challenges that we face in Stockholm, in Sweden, and in the world. But what is very important with this transformation is not only that we will see new scientific discoveries and innovation, but it's also this, that it's not just technology. So digital futures is not about take the technology that we have today and test it and try it out. So digital future is about creating that smart, sustainable future that we would like to see. So that's why we are putting together different disciplines that has to work together now to try to understand what are these questions that we need to solve and need to answer. And that's also an aspect when it comes to the different sectors that we see. We have the industry sector and the public sector with different type of requirements that they are putting on us. So this is what digital future is about. And the research questions relate to human behaviors, ethics, law, health, etc. Together, of course, with the data science, computer science, and engineering science. So digital future, we are coming together trying to really target these big problems.
Yeah. One of my favorite expressions is the best way to predict the future is to be part of building the future. So that's really what you're doing here.
Yes, that's a very good statement. So we are really creating a breeding ground here.
Yeah.
So what we would like to do, I mean, we are at the university. We have the best asset here, which is a student, right? So the number one thing that we are doing in Digital Futures is that we will educate the future leaders in digitalization for Stockholm, for Sweden, and for the world. What we're also going to do is that we're going to foster this new type of collaboration that we see and that some of the speakers already mentioned before us here, right? Between the academia and the sectors that I talked about. But it's also one thing we want to do. We want to establish Stockholm as an international hub of excellence and talents. So it should be the place you come to if you want to study digitalization. And a very important point here, also it's nice we heard from the minister before, is bridging the long-term strategic basic research with the urgent societal need. So this is really what Digital Future is going to do. We are creating that bridge and going to work together. And one thing we are going to make sure that we can see here in Stockholm is that you're going to see Digital Futures in the city. We're going to work on city-scale demonstrations and testbed, and together with the citizens also debate what the digitalization means.
Yeah. So frank question, though. Digitalization and research initiative tied to that can be seen at many universities across the globe. What makes this place unique?
What makes it unique is Sweden. In Sweden, we have a culture of working together across sectors, but also without hierarchies. And I think the event that we have seen here with the speakers that is dedicated and come and talk to us here is showing that. We are able to come together between now industry and the public sector and academia. We have a common goal here, and we can work together to actually transforming the society. So this is what we are going to leverage within Digital Futures. So we hope now that we are taking this truly unique opportunity that we have got to build something which actually can contribute to Stockholm's competitiveness globally, but also to a bright digital future.
Love that. And speaking of bright futures, Marina, can you tell us about sort of some of the more concrete challenges that you're tackling here? I know, of course, that the environment is one aspect of that.
Yeah, sure. I mean, also it was clear to us also with previous speakers that the number of challenges we are facing to build this future sustainable world is huge. And I'm going to give few examples here of what Digital Futures is going to do, it's already doing. And you mentioned already the environmental challenges and the climate challenges. We're all aware of the devastating forest fires that happened last year also here in Sweden, in Australia, and as we speak in California. And access to quick and reliable information from the terrain will, for example, help the fire brigades to control the fires more efficiently, assess the disaster constantly, and also do constant environment monitoring and predict what will happen in the near future. So, for example, we could use Earth observation, big data, and deep learning for that. Technologies that are very popular and that are developing rapidly today. And we already have an interdisciplinary team consisting of experts in geoinformatics, behavioral scientists, perception and learning experts, computer scientists who are working on this issue very heavily.
And can those models and that technology be applied to other areas as well?
Sure. I mean, somebody mentioned here the urbanization. I think the mayor of Stockholm, and this was a spot-on example. We don't know how cities will look like in the future, but we would like to predict. So constant monitoring, environmental monitoring of the cities and urbanization is key. So we can actually manage the traffic better. We can identify the heat spots in the cities. We can decide and predict how to sort of urbanize further or not. And yes, absolutely, this has many applications.
And of course, data is the very foundation of training these models and systems. Are you also considering and conducting research around sort of privacy issues, ethical aspects related to that?
Absolutely. I mean, already today we're using so many applications with our smartphones, and we are leaving a huge digital print or footprint behind us. And all applications we're using are connected to sort of privacy data, personal data, location data, and this is all very sensitive, right? So privacy and management of sensitive data is very important. So the services of the future and digital technology of the future will sort of get accepted and be trusted by the end consumers. So indeed, we would like to support the private sector, and we were talking about how important health data is to further develop the health services, the digital health services. And Digital Future is working in a very cross-disciplinary fashion on that mission. So we have people which are experts in privacy and security, but also lawyers and data analysts who are on this mission.
Mm. And let's talk about robots, my favorite area. We have plenty of robots here too in the demos. Yeah. What type of research are you using robots for? Is it both like industrial robots and social robots?
Right. I mean, robots are everywhere in almost all versions, from cleaning devices up to very sophisticated social robots. And one context we're working with robots is, for example, care of elderly people and healthcare in general. And this is a very particular example because the robots need to be social, so to be accepted and really be useful in this setting. So we're working on making these robots social as much as possible by trying to sort of make them understand human communication and behavior, which we think is of great importance in order so they coexist with humans in a natural way. And of course, this can be then translated to other different fields in education, maybe among kids, at home. So the potential is huge.
Mm. And one last question. I have a background in human-computer interaction, and at the core of that type of research is to actually involve the end users, the humans. What are your plans for how are you actually going to do that here?
Yes, humans, as you heard, is really an integral part of most of our research that we are doing here. Mm. But something in addition that we are going to do is that we have a program on social engagement. So we are going to also engage the public, the general public in Stockholm, the citizens, in discussions and also into the research. Because we think that this with digitalization is not just presenting new solutions to the society, but it's engaging society in this development. And this we are very much looking forward to. And we already started a few workshops with the general public. It has been fantastic now during the last few months.
Thank you so much, Karl and Marina, for joining me and for making everything a little bit clearer about what's going to happen, the magic that's happening in here. Thank you.
Thank you to you, Paulina.